Yes, good evening to you there. My name is Mahad Sekakashaka. Yes, and I'm presenting Artificial Intelligence Assignment 1. Yes, my problem is to to reduce the amount of labor. Yes, by using cheap labor, that is by manufacturing robots, yeah, to serve in customer care services within the supermarkets, such that bosses or investors reduce the amount of labor which works in supermarket. Yes, so it matters because it reduces the amount of it makes it cheap labor, yeah, in the way that it's cheaper than an employer who is paid. A person is more expensive than a robot. Why? Because a person eats every day, drinks every day, he needs transport to go back home, whereas the robot doesn't. Yes. So next, how AI shall be applied within the system. AI shall be applied whereby the agent, you create an agent and you train it to achieve a specific goal. You train it to achieve a specific goal. Yeah, for example, the goal might be to serve customers within the supermarket. Yes, training the robot to adapt the environment, yeah, by also adding motors, cameras, and also speakers and sensors. Speakers on the robot which will act speak the sound out of it, the information. Robot brain, that's the microcontroller, yeah, to think or to think about something and makes a decision, right decision. So types of data used to solve the problem, that is the data which is used, maybe the facial structure, how it has to look like, the height, the voice of it, how it will speak, and then personal information imputed in the system. Produce a robot that keeps finding new knowledge every single day and then keeps learning learning new things every single day. And then, yeah, so next, the difference between supervised and unsupervised learning. Supervised input data is labeled, whereas unsupervised input data is not labeled, is in labeled, yeah, is not labeled. Uses training data set for supervised. Unsupervised uses just input data sets. Supervised uses prediction, whereas unsupervised uses analysis. Classification and regression, that is for the supervised, whereas the unsupervised used clustering, density estimation, and dimension reduction. Supervision learning and how it will be used within our system. Supervision learning, it has these techniques, and these include, yeah, decision making and statistical statistical classification, and decision making. If for example, if a concrete action is not planned, the robot could use mathematical optimizing of that method, yeah, to decide how to act. Whereas the statistical classification, statistics and probability theory previously used in the computer vision. So unsupervised learning, how it is used. Unsupervised learning uses dimension dimension reduction and clustering. Dimension reduction, this technique will it's a reduction of numbers of input variables in training data. Yeah, whereas clustering is employed to solve balanced multi-robot task allocation. So AI techniques challenges. The first challenge is cost of technology. Yeah, robots are generally very expensive to hire because of the large manufacturing industries implement those robots. It can be very costly. Yeah, safe measurements robots can constitute a safety hazard depending on their mechanical strength, employee skill set, and training. Surely robots implemented so that they can work on their own, but for a time to time they will need an interruption and maintenance. It will need that because the more it works for a long time, yeah, it reaches a moment and it wears off. Yeah, team spirit, no implementation robots would succeed. Functions, technical and business the same page. Yeah, possible solution is to borrow money from the government in order to implement the project. Yes, because it will be expensive and an individual cannot own that amount of money. Ensure skills employees, yeah, to help or to guide the robots. Yeah, next, the F1 score is weighted average of precision and recall. Yeah, as we know, in precision and in recall there are false positive and false negative. Yeah, accuracy is totally correctly classified. Then precision is actually correct prediction, yeah, divided by total prediction made by a model. Recall is calculated by the number of true positives divided by the total number of true positives and false negatives. Lastly, perception. These are the most appropriate AI evaluation metrics. One is perception. The focus of this task is to perceive and understand the remote environment for the application. Next is management. The purpose is to coordinate and manage the action of the human and robots. Manipulation. The robots interact with environment, performing these tasks required, determining what is to be affected. So these are the reference, yeah, which I used. Thank you. Have a nice day.